Hello and welcome. You are back just in time for the next session of the Course Profits Workshop. And I'm so excited to have you here with us today because we are going to be talking about Pinterest with one of my good friends and an expert, Pinterest expert. She always shares some things that I hadn't heard before. And I think you'll learn some new things today about Pinterest. But before we jump in on those parts of today, I want to share with you a little bit more about this whole what is this Course Profits Workshop thing? What exactly can you do here and what are we working on? So, the Course Profits Workshop is an audio and video series that I've been hosting to help you figure out some new ways to be more efficient and to sell more of your courses. So, we've got some very specific help for you and also some really incredible gifts and free items, plus some specials. There's all kinds of stuff going on. So, let me walk you through it just a little bit so that you can jump in and get on the list and get all the good stuff. So, the first thing that I want to tell you about is how to actually get signed up. So, if you are going to jump in, you want to go to courseprofitsworkshop.com, which is this page right here. And you can see the orange buttons. That's where you can sign up and get on the list so that you can get access to everything. And then after you sign up, it will take you over to this page that says replays on it. And that's where you'll be able to see all the replays plus all the goodies that we are giving away. So if we scroll down just a little bit, you can see what all is here. First thing is there's a workbook. So I put this together to help you have one place where you can take all of your notes and pull everything together. So jump in, just grab that, click on that. You can download the workbook. The second thing is there is a private podcast. So if you really love to listen on your podcast app, if that will help you get to the content more easily and it will help you listen to all of the episodes, you can get your own private podcast link. So this gives you the instructions. You click this orange button, you put in your email address, and then I've got the instructions for how to use Apple Podcasts here to get the RSS feed and get it all set up so that you can listen on your podcast app. Then underneath here, you can see we've been having some giveaways. So I'm working on the last one. The first two have expired, but I'm working on the last one. So that's going to be coming soon. I gave away one of my courses, also gave away yesterday this incredible social media planner. So get on the list so that you can get whatever the next free giveaway is. And then we've also had some special offers. So I wanted to talk to you real briefly about this special offer right here, which is the mini course magic workshop. It's happening on Saturday, April the 27th of 2024, if you're catching this replay. And I'm teaching you all about how to get your mini course set up using this incredible tool that will host it for free for you. Plus, it helps you design in a micro learning style, which means that your students can take the course on their phone, on their mobile device, so they can take it anywhere as opposed to like having to log in at their computer to get your mini course. They can just flip through, and the lessons are nice and condensed. So it's a great way to do a mini course. So come join us for this. And I'll tell you a little secret. The next time I offer it, the price is going to go back up. I put this at a special price specifically for the Course Profits Workshop folks. So that's you. So get on the list, jump in here, and you can get in for just $47. So I hope you will join us on Saturday for that. If you want the live training, you'll also get the replay. So if you can't make it, no worries. You'll get the replay and you can listen in and spend a few hours and get your mini course set up and running. So excited to do that tomorrow. It's one of my very favorite courses. So I hope we will get to work together on that. And then underneath here, you will see all the sessions are here for you so that you can actually listen and go back and listen to the one that we did about private podcasts with Lindsay And then there's blue buttons here to get the gifts from the speakers. So Lindsay gave us a free 7-day trial. That's my partner link there that you can use. You can also listen to her podcast here. Samantha talked to us about better messaging, and you can get on her bold messaging diaries list, which is so good. She gives out really, really good advice. Or we also talked about her Build Desire on Evergreen. So if you're trying to figure out, should I try Evergreen to sell my courses, you'll want to check that out. And then last week was from Lou, and he was talking about Descript, which I just used this an hour ago and cranked out a quick podcast episode. So it is an incredible concept of this tool is amazing. So you can listen to that interview or just watch it here because he kind of walks us through. Plus, make sure you get his gift, the AI video guide. So lots of stuff to do on this page. That's why I wanted to walk you through it. And we're going to be doing Jana's interview here in just a moment. But I also want to show you this blue button so that you can get her free Pinterest masterclass. And it's so good. I went through it and you will love it. She's always got incredible value. Plus, it's free. So jump right in there. This is also one of my partner links. So a lot of the things that I share will be partner affiliate links because I believe in them. And so I share those features and tools and free sessions and everything I can find to share with you. And then next week, we're going to be talking about email. So I hope you'll join us for next week's session. And then I'm going to have one all about AI tools and prompts for you. So that's the page. You can see there's so much on there. We've got a lot that we have been sharing and giving and putting out into the world with everything that we've been doing. So, so excited that you could join us for this series. It's been such a blast to get to introduce all of these incredible folks to you. And feel free to use the chat, the commenting. Those should come through to me. I'm using a streaming tool that we're streaming on multiple platforms, but they should come through. So if you have any questions or you're wondering, like, how do I do all these things? Feel free to post those in there. And then I'm going to put a quick link in here if you have not signed up yet. It's courseprofitsworkshop.com. And so I think we're ready to jump in with Jana and hear about Pinterest. So enjoy this session. I hope you like it and get some great ideas from her about the power of Pinterest. Oh, I'm so excited for this next session. We are going to talk about how to sell more courses with Pinterest. And of course, we have my very favorite Pinterest expert here. Hey, Jana, how are you doing today?
Hi, thank you so much. Thanks so much for having me, Julie. I'm excited too.
Yeah, this is so good because I don't think a lot of people have heard about the power of Pinterest. And so I know a lot of us are kind of in that land of thinking, oh, isn't Pinterest for crafts and recipes? And you finally trained me that no, it's not. And tell us a
Right.
little bit more. We'll just
Yeah,
jump right in.
for sure. Yeah, definitely. I think course creators who are trying to sell more of their courses kind of fall into two categories with Pinterest. They either are teaching something that actually everyone knows is a Pinteresty type of topic or has traditionally been a Pinteresty topic, right? Like something having to do with cooking or something to do with something that you do for home decor or crafts or whatnot. I worked with a course creator last a couple years ago who was doing preserving flowers in resin. That was her course, so that she taught how to people how to preserve their wedding flowers in resin. And they want to know how to do it on Pinterest, how to market on Pinterest. Or sometimes we have people that create courses about things and they don't think that they're Pinteresty topics. And like you said, Julie, we have to kind of like wake them up a little bit and be like, actually, maybe you need to check that out. Because Pinterest has grown a lot over the last, several years, and the types of things that people are searching on Pinterest have diversified a lot. So chances are, if you're teaching an online course and you've already kind of done a little bit of work, which I'm sure if people who are following you, Julie, they've done the work to make sure that their course is something that people want to learn. if your course is about something people want to learn, chances are they're also looking on Pinterest for that thing that they want to learn about too, right? So what we want to do is we want them to find your content and your course when they're searching for that thing that they want to learn how to do, right? If you think about it, it's really that's kind of like the basic, the simple way that Pinterest is going to work. And we'll talk about that in a little more detail, but that's kind of the concept.
Right.
Yep.
And what you taught me is that Pinterest is not just social media. It's
Mm-hmm.
actually much, much more of a search engine, right? And
Yep.
that's one of the things I'm excited about. So, tell us a little bit more about why that's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there's a lot of reasons why putting your content and your course on a search engine is a good thing, right? Pinterest is a search engine. People go there looking specifically for things to buy and do and try, or try, do, and buy. Try, yeah, do, try, and buy. Not necessarily in whatever order. Um, and so when they go there, it's not social media. They're not going to like see, what their sister did last weekend, or the new baby pictures from the neighbor down the street or whatnot. They're going because they want to learn something. They want to do something. They want to try something. They want to buy something, right? There's a problem that they're looking to solve, or they're looking for something that'll inspire them around something they want to do. So the search engine it's a search engine in a couple of different ways if you think about it this way. Number one, from the user perspective, people are going there searching for things. It's not social, right? Like I just described. From the marketer perspective, we as people who want who want to sell more of our courses, we're marketers, we're marketing our courses. We need to understand that we need to use Pinterest as a search engine. So one of the things we'll talk about today is that means you need to know what keywords people are using to search for your topics and the things that your course teaches, and then use those keywords on your profile and your pins. And sometimes we think a little bit about keywords or hashtags or whatnot on social media, but it's not usually like the crux of our strategy. Whereas, as I'll explain a little bit in more detail here, keywords really are the crux of the strategy on Pinterest. So that's really the difference. How people use it is different because it's a search engine, and how we need to approach it as marketers is different because it's a search engine. So that's the beginning part.
Yeah, that's perfect. And
Mhm.
you were telling me how some of your pins from the past are still getting you leads and still getting you new
Yeah,
subscribers for it's been years, right? Is
right.
that you want to give us an example
Yep, exactly. That happens for me. It's happened for my clients, students of my course. So it's not like just me. It's not an anomaly. That's one of the hallmarks of a search engine, right? Is that if you're using it properly as a marketer, and you have a good strategy in place, what happens is your pins don't just show up when you pin them to a few people who happen to see them that day. Instead, what happens is your pins actually stay on the platform, and they can continue to be discovered. They continue to be discovered by people who are searching for those things for months and years, right? So that's exactly true. I can probably point to, I don't know, like maybe 10 or 12 of my pins that I've created over the years that are what I call legacy pins. And those pins are called legacy pins because they bring me this legacy of new followers, new subscribers to my email list, new buyers to my courses, new readers to my blog, right? And they just keep showing up in people's searches for months and years instead of on social, where you can't imagine that would happen on like Instagram or Threads, where someone would look for something and Pinterest would give them things that were pinned, or the platform would give them things that were added to the platform, 2 or 3 years ago. Like, that's crazy. We don't do that. That doesn't really happen usually on social media, but on Pinterest, because it's a search engine, that's the way it works. If you think about it, Google works that way too, right? If you go to Google and you search something, Google gives you not just the most recent 5 things that people have put on Google or put on the internet that Google has crawled about that topic or that keyword. Google gives you the things that it thinks are the best results for your query. And that's exactly what Pinterest algorithm does as well. It gives you the things that Pinterest believes are the best results for your query. And if you can create really good pins that lead to really good content and really good courses, then you can become, among those pins that Pinterest thinks are the best results for that query, and then again show up in people's searches for months and years, as opposed to just getting lost in a fast moving news feed like you might if you put things on social media, or when you put things on social media. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of kind of what's going on over there on Pinterest and how it's different in that way.
I love that. And you just said if you could do really good pins. So maybe we'll start there and then dig in on the keyword part that you mentioned too. So what makes a really good pin?
Yeah. So definitely a lot of the same things that we think are good graphics on social media, being easy to read, eye-catching, having the right messaging strategy. So really being like having the words on the pin, which is what we call pin text overlay, be very like benefit driven, and be thinking about the words that your ideal client uses, not only to get discovered in the search engine, but also to catch their attention, to stop their scroll and get them to think, ooh, okay, this is relevant to me, right? So it's really, in a nutshell, the way I think about pin design is good design that's easy to read and easy to understand is kind of the first part. So you've got things like having the font be large enough and having the font not be cursive where the brain can't read it very easily. Those are some of the things I teach in Pinterest with Purpose, like to avoid cursive, to avoid all caps, things like that. Lots of, little things to make sure it's more readable and easy to consume. But then also the other side of it is that whole, the what's in it for me factor. I always say to people, like, never design a Pinterest pin without asking yourself, putting yourself in the shoes of the person who you want to see it, and thinking, when they think to themselves, consciously, subconsciously, unconsciously, what's in it for me, what's going to be the answer to them?
Right.
This pin needs to show them immediately, like any good marketing does, what's in it for them, what's in it for me. So I'd say those are kind of like the basics, the 101s in terms of pin design. Wow, that's like really in the nutshell, but yeah.
Yeah. And it seems like it would be obvious, but not necessarily. I know I dabbled before I knew you with having a VA trying to help me with pins, and it was a mess. She put way too many words on it, and so I want to go back and redo a lot of those and do a better job. So I know we're going to dig on the keyword side of things, but first I do want to tell everyone you have this really incredible masterclass that we can also grab and get a hold of for free. So I will put the link so that you can access and get a hold of that. Jana generously shared it with everyone. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, that one, it's called the 5 secrets for using Pinterest to put audience growth on autopilot and make more sales or get more clients, or course students in this case. And you're right. I'm glad you mentioned it, because one of the 5 secrets, so to speak, is me spending some time teaching you about pin design and what the best practices are. So I'm really glad you mentioned that in that context, because that's a really good place for people to learn that for free. Yep.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so the keyword secrets, let's dig in a little bit. So, okay, I'm trying to decide whether or not I should use Pinterest, if I should spend some time on it. Where should I start looking, or what would you recommend?
Yeah. So what I always say to people who are like, I'm thinking about using Pinterest. How do I know if people are even searching for my topic? That's often a question I get, because again, it comes back to the idea that a lot of people still think Pinterest is all home decor and food. And it is, there's a lot there, but there's all kinds of topics being searched, things around health and wellness, and specifics like, fertility and hormone health, and, fitness, and, at-home workouts, and starting a business at home, and all kinds of things are being searched. Really anything in the self-improvement kind of areas, if you will, right? The health, wealth, and relationships. If it's something people are interested in general, they're probably looking for it on Pinterest. So what I always tell people is, don't assume in either direction. Don't assume that your people are not there looking for what your course is about, and say, oh, forget it, they're probably not looking for that on Pinterest. But also don't assume that they are, right? So you just go in and you check, essentially. And so I always tell people to spend a little time on the platform, hanging out in the search bar, searching for things, looking to see what other content is being pinned about your topics and what your course is about. Looking in the search bar to see what people are actually searching as well. That's a really good thing to do. And also in my free Pinterest marketing masterclass, the 5 secrets, another one of the 5 secrets is that I show people, and it's it's a video training, so you'll be able to actually see the interface, where to go in the search bar. And I actually show you how a couple of my past students have looked on in Pinterest to see if people are searching for their specific topics and basically verifying whether or not there is a desire for what they're offering among people searching on Pinterest, right? So I can show you that in the masterclass, but that's really what I recommend, is just going in and checking. And it's actually not that hard. Keyword research in general on Pinterest isn't actually really hard. You just kind of need a little system to follow. So it's not as hard as it is on Google, for example. It's actually much more straightforward. So it's pretty
Oh,
easy.
that's good. That's good.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
guess that's part of the nice feature of things hanging out a long time. We've got the keywords in
Mhm.
there, and it's less about how recent posts were or how new they are. It's more about how good they are. So
Yep.
that's
That's well said. Yes, correct.
perfect. Okay. And you had mentioned that there are some good places to put those keywords if we're
Yeah.
deciding to jump in and,
Yeah.
and think about this. Where would you recommend that we put them?
Yeah. So I'll give your listeners a moment to grab a piece of paper and a pen. I'll give them a heads up
Yes.
because here it comes, the list.
The list.
Yeah. These are like the 6 basic places where you can add your keywords. So once you know what your keywords are, and the way I like to teach people to do it is to actually generate a little list of the keywords people are searching for on Pinterest when you've done your keyword research around your topics and what your course is about. And it's actually not just keywords, it's keyword phrases.
Mhm.
So just to be, a little bit, give people a little bit of an idea around that. It's like you want to be looking at keyword phrases that are generally around like 2, 3, sometimes 4 words strung together, as opposed to just like one word. And we call those long tail keywords. Some people may have heard that term before. That's what that means. So once you have an idea of what people are searching for around your topic, then there are really these 6 basic places where you can add those keywords. So those are your name of your profile, which so many people miss. A lot of people do not do that. And it's really important because Pinterest actually shows your profile in searches if you have keywords in your profile. So it's
Oh,
really important not to miss that one.
yeah.
Um, your bio or your about me section, and then your Pinterest board titles and your Pinterest board descriptions.
Okay.
Board descriptions is one that a lot of people miss as well. A lot of people don't even know that you can add a board description, and it's a really good way to help Pinterest understand more about what you're about and what the pins on that board are about. And then finally, your pin titles and then your pin descriptions. So I'll just run through those 6 again. It's name, number 1 is name, number 2 is your bio or your about me section. Number 3 is your board titles. Number 4 is your board descriptions. Number 5 is your pin titles. And number 6 is your pin descriptions. There are a couple of other, like, not really secret, but like other ways that you can help Pinterest understand what your pins are about. Things like the text overlay on the pin can help. And you can add tags when you're creating pins. But those 6 are the ones that I encourage people to think about when they're first getting started and building their profile, if that makes sense.
Right, right.
Yep.
So there's the profile setup kind of things, and then there's our content
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. Gotcha.
And I should say too, like it's important to note, I would not be a responsible marketer or teacher or course instructor if I didn't note that we don't want to keyword stuff. We don't want to just make a big long list of keywords. That's not what Pinterest wants, and that's not what humans want. So what we do instead is we write helpful information, or prose, if you will, that helps both the algorithm, Pinterest, and also humans understand what this is about, and helps them want it, helps the humans understand what it's about and know, again, what's in it for them. So we're not just listing out a bunch of keywords. We are making sure that we write phrases and things that humans will read and understand and find helpful that have the keywords in them.
That makes sense. I remember way back when SEO first started, people would just fill an entire page with the keyword, and Google at that point wasn't smart enough to recognize it, and so that worked. That does not work anymore.
Right. Yeah, that's a good parallel to think about when you're thinking about Pinterest too. Yep.
Awesome. Okay. So if we are thinking, okay, I want to explore this a little bit more, there was one piece of this that we haven't talked about yet that I want to make sure I do bring up. Is this something that I can like start today and then tomorrow I'm going to have 200 people signing up? Does it work like that? Or since you're such an expert, and I know you were named an ambassador too, right? So you've used it so much.
Yes, I did serve as a Pinterest pioneer, which is their ambassador program. Yep, for a couple years. Yeah, so no, and here's the thing. I mean, honestly, like there isn't really anything that you can start today and have 200 leads tomorrow.
Right.
Sorry. Maybe paid ads, but even with paid ads, you still have to test, your messaging and your audience and all that kind of stuff. So there really isn't anything like that. But no, Pinterest is definitely not an overnight, get rich kind of platform. And again, because it's a search engine, there are a lot of benefits of that search engine. For us, it's much more low maintenance. You don't need to engage. There's no engagement going on over there as part of the marketing strategy. The pins that really do work well are going to be surfaced for months and years for people. But the other side of that coin is that much like Google or YouTube, which is also a search engine, right? It does take time to learn the strategy, put it in place, and then also to see what you've built grow. So the way that I teach Pinterest, and this is a little bit of a kind of an unpopular opinion, if you will, although since I started talking about it a few years ago, it's sort of become more popular. It's kind of become something other Pinterest teachers teach about too, which is fine. But I don't even recommend that people look at their analytics on Pinterest for the first at least 3 months, sometimes 6 months.
Gotcha.
I like to give you a workflow to follow once you've got your profile set up, and then not even worry about analytics until you have enough data to actually make decisions. It's definitely not a pot you want to watch boil. I mean, I don't think it's a good idea to watch any pot boil, but I think the social media pot might boil a little faster, whereas a Pinterest pot is definitely going to boil a little slower. So you don't want to hang around and watch it boil.
Yes. And the good thing about that is and that's partly why I wanted to talk about it a little bit. We don't want to have these unrealistic expectations and then get disappointed when things don't happen. We'll just recognize this could be a bit of a longer impact, and good and bad. So it might take a little longer to happen, but then it's going to hang out for so much longer.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that I always say this, and others say it as well, that your results on Pinterest snowball. So for the students and the clients that I have had that do push through and don't, watch the pot boil and get discouraged and stop because after 2 weeks they think it's not working or something. For the people that do follow the strategy and have the confidence to know that it's going to work for them, they see that results snowball over time, and then you have this thing that really works on autopilot for you without you having to really do much. I usually suggest that you budget, just a couple of hours, really a month for Pinterest, a few hours per month once you get the ball rolling and it starts working for you. So, it's the give and the take. It's more work up front, getting it set up. And then over time, it becomes easier and easier, gives you better and better results, and gives you, hundreds, for some of my clients and students, thousands, of people hitting your website and your content and your opt-ins and, your course sales pages. Not just any people, but people who are already searching for the things that they're about, every single month. So there's a lot of possibility, but it does take a little bit of time to grow, like anything worthwhile does.
Right. And that's one of the things I want to make sure we're talking through these, is that we're giving the good and the time commitment on things.
Yeah, so just being realistic.
Yeah. You've always been fantastic at that, so I appreciate that. So I'm excited about Pinterest. What would you say I should go do?
Yeah, I would say definitely go and look and see what keywords are being searched around your topic. So just pull out a piece of paper, write the things that your course is about, the main keywords that you think people are searching. When people say just like, oh, what's your course about? What are the words you think of to tell them that? And then go to Pinterest. And again, you can enroll in my free
Yes.
5 Secrets Masterclass so I can show you how to do this. But essentially what you want to do is do a little bit of like keyword research and find out if people are searching for the thing your course is about. They probably are. And then once you verified that, find out what the different search terms are that they're using to search for that topic and which ones are aligned, with the way that you teach and present the information so that you can start developing your own little keyword list of things people are searching for on Pinterest. Then you'll be able to turn around and use those keywords as you build your profile so that you can attract people who are already looking for the things your course is about, but wouldn't otherwise, find you if they didn't, if you didn't have those keywords and have your content on Pinterest.
I love it. I love it. And thank you so much for giving us all the little behind the scenes secrets and ninja tricks.
Yeah.
And we'll grab and get signed up for the masterclass. So I'll have that link for y'all so you can get on and jump in with Jana. So thank you
Great.
so much, Jana. I appreciate it.
Oh.
Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. I would just, like I said, encourage any course creators to, jump in there and do a little research. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised to find people are looking for your thing.
More than we think. I was
Yeah.
really surprised when I
Yeah.
actually put some a little time into looking into it. So thank
Yeah.
you so much for being here. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Oh my goodness, isn't Jana amazing? I always love to get to connect with her. And so I hope you were able to get signed up for her Pinterest masterclass just to kind of look around and see, like, is this a good place for you to be playing? Is this a playground that you should be in? See if your course topic is on Pinterest or not, and check it out. Check out the keyword research that she was talking about. Just spend a few minutes and see what you think today as we get finished. So, the other thing I wanted to mention is make sure you get your free spot. If you're not on the list yet, please jump in. We've got another free gift coming in a week or two. We've got a couple more interviews coming, so we'll be back next week. So if you haven't gotten into Course Profits Workshop yet, it's free. Come join us, courseprofitsworkshop.com. Thanks for being here. Have an incredible rest of your Friday and wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week. Take care.